Thank you for joining us. Welcome to LumioseStation.
What's up, LumioseStation, and welcome back to another episode of the Pokémon DataDex with me, TheOneIntegral. This is episode number 49 of the Pokémon DataDex. We're almost at 50, and as I told you guys several times over the past few episodes, episode 50 is going to be a very special one to watch. And if you're on the Prism podcast last weekend, celebrating our anniversary, you might have, well, if you were around at the time, you will have seen a little hint at it. If you didn't, don't worry guys, you'll see it next week, but it's awesome, I can't wait for it, and I hope you guys are pumped for it as well. So if you are, don't forget to smash that like button down below, and we'll get a Mega Evolution covered next week for you, and everything will be fine and dandy, especially when you see what I've got planned. Anyway, this week we're going to be covering Electivire because that won the vote last week out of Electivire and Magmortar. Next week, as I said, we're covering a Mega Evolution, so there is no vote, but I want you guys to let me know down below in the comment section what was your favourite episode of DataDex I've covered so far. Out of the 49 episodes, obviously once this one's over you can include this one if you want to, out of the 49 episodes I've done, 49 Pokemon I've covered so far since we launched the channel, let me know what was your favourite episode, what's helped you the most, which episode is, you thought, okay, I'm going to use this Pokemon, and you've fallen in love with the Pokemon, or it's helped you most in battle, or whatever, guys. Let me know down below what your favourite episode of the DataDex so far is, and, as I said, next week it's going to be awesome, so be sure to be around and tune in for that. But for now, let us get started on Electivire, one of my favourite Pokemon. Electivire is a pure electric type and the Thunderbolt Pokemon. It's number 466 in the National Pokédex, but unfortunately does not appear in any of the Kalos Pokédexes. Electivire stands at 5 foot 11 inches tall or 1.8 meters tall and weighs 305.6 pounds or 138.6 kilograms. Electivire, being a human-like Pokemon, is in the human-like breeding group and is a male primarily, 75% of the time, and the female 25% of the time, so you're more likely to get the male Electivire than a female. Evolution chain wise, we have Elekid, my favourite Pokemon, starting off is going to evolve into Electivire starting level 30, and then if you trade your Electabuzz while it's holding an Electrizer, it's going to evolve into an Electivire, so it is one of those trade with Pokemon, so hopefully you have an Electrizer around to actually get an Electivire. I tell you guys, it's worth it. Base stat wise, for Electivire, we can see if we show them on screen now, attack is its highest base stat at 123, then we have special attack and speed at both at 95, going on down to special defense at 85, and then further on down, health points at 75 and defense at 67. So you can tell Electivire is a very physical Pokemon, especially, physically physical. Very physical, very offensive Pokemon is what I mean to say. Obviously primarily physical rather than special, but special is a possibility for it as well, and we're going to explore that later on in this episode. You can see its speed is fairly high as well, and also one of its abilities is going to help sort of boost that up even more. So, you could run a speedy Electivire or just an offensive one, as we'll discuss in the sets a bit later on. But those are the basic stats and stuff of information, etc. for Electivire. So now let's move on to the typing. So Electivire is a pure electric type, as I've said, which makes the typing fairly easy to determine. It resists flying, electric and steel type moves, and it beats ground type moves, and that's it. It takes neutral from all other types. This isn't a brilliant typing, to be honest. Obviously it has more resistances than weaknesses, but it doesn't resist a huge amount, only 3, which means you're going to take a neutral damage from a lot of Pokemon. So you can't switch in and say, yeah, I'll probably, I'll be able to resist whatever move they throw at me, sort of thing, because you won't unless it's flying, electric or steel, which means a lot of the common moves, water, grass, fire, fighting, everything like that in the metagame, all the, the most common type and common moves and such, they are gonna unfortunately hit you for neutral damage, which means Electivire is not brilliant at switching in, which means you need a safe switch generally. You can actually, sort of be a bit sneaky with your switch-ins, as we'll look at in just a second. So ability-wise for Electivire, its basic ability is Motor Drive, which boosts the speed stat when hit by an electric type move, and its hidden ability is Vital Spirit, which prevents the Pokemon from falling asleep. So Motor Drive basically makes you immune to electric type moves as well, so you can get rid of that electric type resistance and put it on immunities, because you're not going to be taking any damage from it at all. In fact, it's going to help you out, it's going to give you a speed boost. Now as I said just then, you can be a bit sneaky with your switch-ins. This isn't going to work all the time, obviously it's very risky sometimes, but if you can predict an electric type move to be used, you can switch it in, they'll use the electric type move on you. it's going to boost up your special, or not special, your speed rather, and that's going to help you out because your speed has been risen, sort of, it rose. So you're going to be faster, and that's going to help you on the long term because Electivire? Yeah, totally covering Electivire right now. Electivire, as I said, is not very bulky at all, so obviously being able to move first, which means you're going to take less damage overall and be able to take more Pokemon with your Electivire. Its hidden ability, Vital Spirit, which prevents sleep, isn't that good. To be honest, if you're going to get put to sleep, it's going to happen. Motor Drive is, in my opinion, the better ability here. You're not going to get hit by an electric type move that often, but when you are, it's certainly going to help you out quite a lot. Now if we move to look on the highlighted moves for Electivire, as I've said, it's a mainly physical attacker, so that's what we're going to sort of focus on, but there are some special attacks thrown in here for some variation. So the first move that Electivire can learn via level up is level 29, so it's obviously going to learn it as an Elekid, but this is Thunder Punch, and that is a powerful move, nice and physical electric type. This is your general sort of, I guess, your basic stab there for physical at least. Then at level 49, I believe this is an Electabuzz or Electivire, it can learn Thunderbolt. Now obviously it can learn this by TM as well, so it's not necessary to get level 49, but that's when it's learned sort of thing. If you don't have the TM, special move obviously, and this is your basic special move, if for a special stab move for Electivire here. Moving on to TMs then, we have TM10 Hidden Power, which is a normal type move, but obviously changes depending on IVs, and obviously the power depends on IVs as well. So generally it depends really. You can either just get your perfect Electivire and say, okay, I've got hidden power, whatever, this will do sort of thing. Or you can try and breed a certain hidden power and sacrifice 1 or 2 IVs to try and get that specific hidden power type. I mean, what could be good? A grass type possibly, since you're weak to ground types, but don't have too much to counter them with. A water type obviously would also be good, because then you can counter the ground types again. You know, anything really, because you're only weak to one type, so you could either focus on covering that type or just get a general coverage move. Then TM26 is Earthquake, a nice physical ground type move, very powerful, very powerful, and it's certainly a great move for Electivire to have. It allows it to hit other electric type Pokemon, as well as rock types that may also be carrying Earthquake, or other moves that are going to hit you for that damage, and you know, fire types as well. Then, TM35, we have Flamethrower, so another special attack here. Electivire can indeed learn Flamethrower. It's a bit crazy, I know, but it can. It can indeed, and that's a powerful fire type move. Again, coverage against grass types, bug types, ice types. As I said, you're only weak to one type, so really, there's not a huge amount it's not like you need to carry this to counter those types. You can just get loads of moves and just cover whatever types you want, and make different Electivires to cover certain typings, and then some are going to be strong against grass types. You guys get what I mean there. Then we have TM52 Focus Blast, another special attacking move, a powerful fighting type move as well, going to cover rock types, ice types, etc, etc, etc. Don't need to go on about this again. Very powerful though, Focus Blast, so certainly a good choice if you want a special Electivire. Then we have another TM, the final TM, TM93 Wild Charge, a very powerful electric physical move, and that's going to do a lot of damage to the opponent, but however it's going to cause you some recoil. So as I said, this is not your main sort of physical electric type move, because we have Thunder Punch for that. This is the one if you really want just all the damage. Obviously it's going to cause damage to you, and that eventually is going to kill you, but it's going to get you loads of damage off and, you know, secure you the kill in most cases where a Thunder Punch necessarily wouldn't. Then we have 3 egg moves to finish off. The first of these is Cross Chop, a powerful physical fighting type move. Very powerful indeed. Cross Chop is just, I can't describe. Cross Chop is powerful indeed. Again, covering ice types, rock types, etc, etc, etc. Then we have Fire Punch, so to go along with the Thunder Punch we had earlier, it learns Fire Punch via breeding, via egg moves, etc. Again, good coverage, just as Flamethrower was good coverage, we have Fire Punch as good coverage. And then finally we have the last move, Ice Punch. Again, good coverage, it's going to cover ground types, which is your one weakness, so it's certainly a very good move to hold on your physical Electivire there. So those are the highlighted moves for Electivire. Obviously it can learn other moves, but these are the highlighted ones because they're the most used ones. As I said, a good mix of physical and special. 4 special moves, 6 physical, so primarily physical, but there are some special ones thrown in for a bit of variation if you want to go for a mixed or a specially attacking Electivire. But let's now move on to the sets for Electivire, so you guys can actually see how you sort of build your Electivire to use in competitive battling. So the first one we have here is actually a set generally I use. This is my basic set. So I guess I'll just get straight into it. We have Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, Cross Chop, and then finally Earthquake or Fire Punch. Ability is Motor Drive. As I said, that's the best ability out there for Electivire. Nature is Adamant or Jolly. Held item is an Expert Belt, and EVs are Maximum Attack, Maximum Speed, and the rest in defense. So, starting off with the moveset. Thunder Punch is your powerful stab move. I chose to go Thunder Punch rather than Wild Charge because Wild Charge is obviously going to inflict some recoil on you, which is not good. It's not good at all. Then we have Ice Punch. That's your coverage against the ground types, which are your one weakness. So obviously Ice Punch is going to come in helpful because, if a Gliscor comes out, Ice Punch, bopped. If a Hippopotas, I don't know why a Hippopotas will come out, but you guys get the idea. If it comes out, you can bop it with an Ice Punch and hope maybe save your life, if they're not expecting the Ice Punch. Cross Chop then is a good, powerful move, as I've said. Again, it's just more coverage, really. And then Earthquake or Fire Punch. Generally, I run Earthquake because I just like Earthquake, especially if I playing a free-for-all or a double battle or whatever. Earthquake does come in more helpful. Plus, Earthquake is a very powerful move. It's more powerful than Fire Punch. It's got a base 100 damage, I think, whereas Fire Punch is maybe 75 or 80. One of those. So obviously it's not as much damage, but Fire Punch can give you some more coverage if you want to run it. So really, you could mix it up and just try them out and test that, see which one works better for you. Breathe the Fire Punch onto it, and then if you want to get rid of it, you can always teach it Earthquake via TM. Ability, as I said, Motor Drive. Try and get that initial switch in on an electric type attack and you're set. That's a brilliant way to use Electivire. Obviously, you might want to leave it for late game, because if they've got a very fast Pokemon already, if it's a Greninja, even if you've got your one speed boost, it might still be faster than you, so you have to watch out for that there. Nature, Adamant or Jolly. Now, Adamant if you want to give the power, Jolly if you want the speed. If you want to try and be, sort of going in at the start of a game, the start of a match, you can go for the Jolly and try and get the Motor Drive boost, and then you'll be faster and hopefully a good for their Pokemon. But if you want to hold back and just go for the late game power, go for the Adamant there, because that's going to yield the most damage. Then the held item here is an Expert Belt. The reason for this is because we have a lot of coverage. Thunder Punch is going to cover water types, it's going to cover flying types. Ice Punch is going to cover ground types, also flying types. Cross Chop is going to cover rock types, steel types, ice types. Earthquake is going to cover fire types, rock types. You've got loads of coverage. Obviously you don't cover all the types because that would be absolutely crazy, but you do cover quite a lot of the types. So Expert Belt is going to boost up the power of the move if it's super effective. So that's very good there. Obviously it's going to, as long as you've got a super effective move against them, you're going to do more damage, and generally you do. And obviously then, that's sort of what you need to exploit with Electivire. You need to see when you've got an advantage here, and you need to exploit that advantage. You don't want to go in on someone you necessarily don't have an advantage against, because your item is not going to help you out at all there. EV wise, here we have maximum attack and speed, get the most power, fast as you can, and then the rest in defense, just because defense is your lower defensive stat, so that's going to sort of bring it up slightly, just slightly higher, closer towards special defense. How would you use the Electivire set? Well, I've pretty much explained it already. Switch out, preferably late game, try and get a Motor Drive boost if possible. If not, don't worry about it, Electivire can handle without it, and get the damage off of that Expert Belt boosted super effective attacks, and just go and wipe through. Obviously if you've got the Thunder Punch with the stab and the super effective and the Expert Belt, you're going to do a lot of damage. But if you can't get the stab, it's no worry really. You can get some more damage off of your other moves too, because it's nice in coverage. But that's going to be it for that set, guys. Let's move on to the second set, which is more of a mixed set, and it's slightly more of a risky set, I guess you could say. The moveset here is going to be Wild Charge, Ice Punch, Cross Chop, and Hidden Power. Ability here is Motor Drive. Nature is going to be a naive one. Held item is going to be a Life Roll. EVs are going Maximum Attack, Maximum Speed, and the rest in Special Attack this time. So as you can see, we have a mixed attack here, mainly physical moves, but one special attack too. So, Wild Charge, that's your stab move. This is going to cause recoil, so that's why I said it's a slightly more risky one, because you're eventually going to die from that recoil. So you really, just in case you coming in doing power and then maybe dying, maybe switching out, getting healed up somehow, you guys get the idea. Ice Punch is there again for the coverage against the ground types, as is Cross Chop for coverage against general coverage with the the fighting type moves. And then Hidden Power is here. Now obviously Hidden Power is going to depend on your IVs, preferably maybe a grass or water hidden power rather, because that's going to cover your weaknesses, or weakness rather, best. But you could just go for anything here. Poison could be good for covering fairies, steel could be good for covering fairies and rock types. There's endless possibilities, guys. You could choose here, it's really up to you. So then the ability Motor Drive, as I said, try and get a Motor Drive boost That's the best way to go. Naive nature is going to be a neutral nature because it's not going to... I think it is a neutral nature. I'm pretty sure it's a neutral nature, guys. So obviously it's not going to reduce your physical attack or your special attack because you need both of those to sort of... You don't want to reduce an attack you might end up using. So otherwise hidden power is going to do even less damage than it would have in the first place. Anyway, so then the held item here, a life orb. Now, I guess this is another reason we have the wild charge, because wild charge and life orb both do recoil damage. So eventually, unfortunately, you are gonna, you're gonna go down. You're gonna keep attacking, and then you're just gonna go down, unfortunately. No. Okay. I was wrong. Naive nature actually increases speed and decreases special defense. My bad, guys. So you're decreasing your special defense here, guys, because your special defense is higher than your physical defense, meaning that it's going to sort of just bring the special defense down to the level of the physical defense rather than ruining the physical defense even more. We're boosting our speed here because we want to be as fast as possible, and especially with that defense drop we have to be faster. If we increase the special attack and lower special defense, then you're going to be more vulnerable because you're going to be weaker to attacks, and obviously then if you're not fast enough to take them out before they take you out, you're eventually going to lose. So that's what the naive nature does. But life orb there does inflict recoil on you, as does the wild charge. So this is more of a hit and run set or a hit and die set. It's a suicide set almost. You go in, you're gonna inflict damage with whatever you choose. You're gonna get life orb damage and maybe wild charge damage if you use wild charge. And eventually you're gonna die unless you have some form of wish, remembering or something, whatever you have in the field. You're gonna lose health points at least, and then have to be forced to switch out or die. Is basically how it's gonna go. EV wise, maximum attack and speed, so attack is our main, physical attack is our main attacking stat there, because we have 3 out of 4 physical, 3 out of 4 moves are physical, so attack is the one we're boosting it mainly. Speed, obviously, because we want to be as fast as possible, and we're just putting the rest in special attack there just to get a bit more boost. Not a huge boost is needed because it's just one move, but just one. That's better than boosting your defense rather, And how to use this set? Well, I mean, it's basic, come in, do the damage, and then either switch out and try to heal up or die. That's pretty much it. I can't really offer any more. This is more to be used maybe at the start of the game because we don't really want to be staying around. You just get the damage off, and then go, or die, unfortunately. So it's less of a conservative set, it's more just a full out attacking set. So really you could use it at any point in the game. But let's now move on to the final set we have for Electivire, which is going to be a full special attacking set. I figured because we did full physical, we did the mixed, may as well do a full special attacking. It's not going to be as effective as physical attack, but it could catch some people off by surprise if they switched into, for example, a Flygon, a Gliscor, which is mainly physical defensive, and you hit them with a special move. That's going to catch them off guard very easily. So here we have, moveset is going to be Thunderbolt, Focus Blast, Flamethrower, and Hidden Power. Ability again is Motor Drive. Nature this time is a modest or timid nature. Held item we got the Expert Belt again. And the EVs are maximum special attack, maximum speed, and the rest in defense. So moveset, we have the Thunderbolt because that's your main stab, as I said sort of earlier when we were going through the highlighted moves. Focus Blast is there sort of as a replacement for Cross Chop, covering whoever needs to hit rock types, steel types, etc. Plus Focus Blast is just a powerful move in general, so it's going to do a lot of damage. Flamethrower is there for coverage against grass types, against not fire types, bug types for example, steel types, ice types, etc. So that's what Flamethrower is there for. And the Hidden Power, again this could be any type, but I would suggest, since we don't have Ice Punch anymore, possibly try and get an Ice type Hidden Power so you can cover those pesky little ground types, or a water type Hidden Power, or a grass type Hidden Power, just so you can hit the ground types so they're not as easily going to take you out. Ability here is Motor Drive, yet again, because we want that speed boost if at all possible. Nature, modest or timid. Now, again, sort of similar to the first set we looked at. Modest if you want to go for late game, timid if you want to go as soon as possible and try and get a Motor Drive boost and just go straight against the whole team. Expert Belt's back again because we have 4 moves, differing types, hopefully at least with the Hidden Power, that are going to do coverage, and obviously, hopefully going to cover as many moves as possible and get that Expert Belt boost pretty much every turn. Who knows? EVs wise, we have maximum special attack and speed, so we got the most damage, especially, and the most speed, and then the rest in defense, just to sort of bring it up to the same level of special defense as we had in the first set. But, really guys, it's very similar to the first set, except we have special moves rather than physical moves. So there's not a huge amount of difference. There's not really a huge amount of difference, apart from the fact that you might be able to trick the enemy. If they think you're a physical attacker, and they send in someone that's very specially weak, you can bop them just like that. You can bop them just like that, guys. So it might be a set to try out to catch people off guard, for example. But who knows? Who knows? I think that's going to be it for that set, guys, and that sort of concludes this episode of the Pokemon DataDex, episode number 49, covering Electivire. As I said, next week, guys, watch out for a super special episode, episode number 50 of the Pokemon DataDex, where we're going to have some very, very cool stuff for you. Make sure to hit that like button down below if you're excited for that, and also tell me in the comment section below, what was your favourite episode of the first 49 episodes of Pokemon DataDex? Which one helped you the most? Which one did you like the most? Which is your favourite Pokemon a lot, etc. And, just give me some feedback about the series, I guess. We're 49 episodes in, and if I can change anything for you guys, if you want to see something, I might be able to make it done. Anyway, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode and the first 49 episodes of DataDex, and I hope you continue enjoying it into the future. But for now, guys, I'll be seeing you next time. I thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.